policy and try to understand why it was implemented, whether it achieved its goals, and what its implications for the world's second largest economy may be. If you want to see more decoding history videos, let us know by hitting the like button, and if you want to keep up with the new series coming to this channel, be sure to subscribe. Now let's decode some history. On October 1st, 1949, Mao Zedong proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic of China. This marked the birth of a new nation, and from that moment, China underwent a population explosion, as the country grew from 500 million people in the 1950s to 700 million by the 1960s. Meanwhile, Mao was trying to rapidly transform China from an agrarian economy to an industrial one, through a set of economic policies called the Great Leap Forward, that imposed a collectivized system for farming and did away with private farming. Ultimately, this failed to produce the necessary yield, and the plan led to a catastrophic famine in 1958 that starved over 50 million people to death and prompted a suicide spree that impacted millions more. The famine also caused a momentary dip in fertility, but by 1966, fertility had started to rise again. The population's growth rate was soaring, and there was a widespread fear of housing shortages and, God forbid, another famine. This motivated the government to begin a birth control propaganda campaign and some efforts to control early marriages, but to no avail. The average family size in China at the time was around 6 people. Then, in 1976, Mao died after suffering several heart attacks, leaving an imminent disaster for his successor, Deng Xiaoping, to govern. The population stood at a whopping 969 million people, putting a severe strain on water, electricity, and food. And so on the 25th of September in 1980, the Communist Party of China implemented the one-child policy, a soon-to-be obvious mistake that went on to stand for 35 years. Posed as a solution to control the country's rapidly growing population, it sought to improve quality of life, increase GDP per capita, and avoid future famines. It was the ultimate gamble for economic prosperity. Under the policy, most couples were allowed to have only one child. Those who violated the policy had to pay harsh penalties, often larger than their annual income, and in rare occasions, notable figures who violated the policy were made to pay over $1 million. On top of fines, those who violated the policy by having more than one child would also be subject to sanctions like the seizure of property or being blocked from accessing government services like schools, healthcare, and financial services. Many companies even refused hiring people with more than one child. It's also particularly difficult to appropriately describe the inhumane consequences imposed upon women in China during the one-child policy, as the government didn't just deter childbirths with sanctions and fines.
Couldn't see anyone. Is that all? Oh, good job. Actually killed those guys alone. It's amazing. No way. ng scope eh. Lagi mag-isa tong isa na to. Problema niya. Slowest ang pota. Pagpunta pitas dyan ah. Bahala ka dyan. He's AFK. Oh shit.
Hello.
ライフラインパッケージを要請するわ。
Sana madarating game ito para matapos na ako. Ano maglaro na itong laro Apex. Umay na ako.
Backpack を発見。レベル2よ。標準ストックを発見。レベル2よ。
You can craft a backpack there. There we go. Craft the backpack now. Shit. That's cool. He crafted a purple shield. Already got one. What is a wingman though?
拡張ライトマガジンがいる。
Ah, hindi ka. Again.
敵のシールド終わった。
He's down, but he's not dead.
残りの部隊は半分だ。
Ah, dito pa rin pala ako doon. The fuck? How many people are there? Fuck's sake. Daming tao doon. May squad doon, may squad doon, may squad sa likod ko. Tayo ito. Buhay ka pa doon. Tanga na. Tanga yan. Malas ko naman doon. Daming squad na tumira sa akin doon. Kasar naman yun.
out of their way to prevent them in the first place. Women were forcefully sterilized, their menstruation cycles closely surveilled. If they did get pregnant with a second child, they were forced to have abortions. And because of this, more than 336 million abortions had been reportedly performed to maintain the one-child policy. So China willingly implemented this radical policy, and with it came a whole host of institutionalized human rights concerns. But remember, they did it in the pursuit of economic prosperity for a future China, to avoid famine and increase the quality of life. So did this gamble pay off economically? Was this a visionary idea despite the collateral damage, or just a total failure? We are now about to dive into the shocking economic implications of the one-child policy right after today's segment of History on Repeat. Hearing about China's one-child policy, it's certainly easy to exceptionalize China's authoritarian imposition and disregard for personal autonomy. But it's not the only country to implement population control policies. In India in 1975, during a period referred to as the emergency,
has proclaimed emergency. This is nothing to panic about.
Sanjay Gandhi, son of the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, began a gruesome campaign to sterilize poor men, with reports of police corroding off entire villages and dragging men to surgery. In just 1 year, 6.2 million men were sterilized to prevent further reproduction. That's 15 times the number of people sterilized by the Nazis. India thus has its own dark history of state-sponsored population control, but you don't have to look back half a century to see that history repeats itself in many forms. Less than 10 years ago, India carried out nearly 4 million sterilizations between 2013 and 2014. But this time, less than 100,000 of those were done on men. Now, as we promised, let's dive into the economic consequences of China's one-child policy. In 2011, the Chinese government proclaimed that the one-child policy had prevented 400 million births, likely the
Matay
most
kayo?
significant feat of population engineering ever. One consequence of this was
halfway
it
to-
produced the most
halfway towards
educated
tayo mo
and
ng
privileged
puta.
generation
Tapos bagsak
in
na naman
China's
ako.
history. This is because all the resources of a typical family were channeled into just one child. But when China finally repealed the policy in 2015, the most dangerous consequences had not yet come to light. China's efforts to combat an exploding population have created an arguably worse problem, a soon-to-be declining one. Although China's population is still growing today, and its largest population segment includes earners and spenders powering the economy, this demographic will soon retire, and around the same time, China's population will begin to shrink. You see, in the 1990s, 1 in every 8 Chinese citizens had no siblings. By 2050, it's estimated that 1 in every 3 citizens will not have any siblings. While many siblingless people will have grandparents, parents, they won't have any uncles, no aunts, no cousins. This creates what's referred to as the 4-2-1 family type after just 2 generations, an 8-4-2-1 type after 3. This is a huge problem, and a problem you can think of like an inverted pyramid, with increasing financial pressure and strain on the bottom to support the top. By 2013, elderly people comprised only 12% of the population. By 2050, that number is expected to rise to 34%. That's more than 1 in every 3 people, and by 2050, China is expected to have more retirees than Germany, Japan, France, and the UK combined. This aging population poses a serious threat to China's economy, which relies heavily on competitive labor. With fewer children being born, the working age population has shrunk, resulting in a severe shortage of labor. The shortage led to increased wages, which in turn led to higher production costs for Chinese manufacturing, which, if you've seen our most popular economic oddness video, you know Chinese manufacturing is already losing market share to competitive emerging economies. There's also a fear that China's economy will become less innovative, as young adults are also major drivers of entrepreneurship, a key driver of growth in the 21st century among most major economies. Finally, and perhaps most notably, the one-child policy exacerbated gender inequality, especially amongst poor couples who felt that a son, rather than a daughter, would be able to provide more for the family in the future. This led to a mass cultural rejection of girls who were seen as incapable of working the farm, earning an income, and carrying the family name. As a result, millions of female babies were given up for adoption, aborted, or murdered. By 1990, the one-child policy was responsible for 50 million missing women in China and 100 million worldwide. Today, there are not nearly enough girls and women in China, and by 2050, 1 in every 4 Chinese men above the age of 50 will not have a spouse. And for the 40 million men who will be in their 30s, almost half of them will not have a spouse. The implications of this are catastrophic, ranging from higher levels of criminality and sex trafficking, increased outmigration of young people, and perhaps the most difficult implication for China to grasp. This will mean even fewer births. In 2020, there were only 12 million births, the lowest number ever recorded in China. The Chinese government states that 2.1 births per woman is necessary for a stable population, and currently the number is 1.8. It seems that this grand experiment in population control may have helped China achieve significant economic growth in the short term, facilitating the success story of today, but with a slowing economy, shrinking labor force, unsustainable family structure, and skewed gender ratio, the one-child policy has had largely devastating economic consequences for China. And given its potentially more hazardous future consequences, it's safe to say that China's attempt to forego economic prosperity has majorly backfired.
Cybertech.
新しいキルリーダーね。早く会いたいわ。
No one is scared of you.
Let me show you something.
Oops. Bakit dun ka na gan? Oh, sige. Wala.
拡張エネルギーマガジンを見つけたわ。レベル4よ。ほら、誕生日プレゼントよ。進化シールドを発見。レベル3よ。 こっちを探索しよう。
アルティメット促進剤を発見。
Ganun lang pala yan. Alala muna ko po. I was Soy-san.
新しいキルリーダーよ。気をつけて。
It would suck if someone's there waiting for me.
ショットガンボルトを発見。レベル3よ。 目標発見。敵はあの方角にいる。
Gago, wasak ulo. Easy lah. Kulit nyo ah. Sugot pala kayo. Sugot pa. Tingnan nyo ah. Kita mo yung nakatago. Let's go to your zip line. Okay, open total eh. May kalaban dyan. Kailangan ko isang win pa. Ay hindi, kulang pa. 2 games pa. Kasi for 37 may kulang ko eh. And to win this game. This match. Or at least get top 2. Tingin-tingin sa likod ah. Ay, may backstab tayo dito. May GR na nangyayat na. Pero ano ba nakitang kalaban dun? Di ba nakita mo? Sa likod nyo, sa likod nyo. Kalaban sila doon. Nice. Kawawa naman yan. Bugs. Kawawa naman yung team na yun. hindi kami tinuloy yun ng ano, yung nasa likod namin.
お宝がいっぱいよ
Nasa bad position kami kanina dun. Sino kayo nakaaway na ito? Kaya kasi nag-pull out bigla. Where did he throw that?
シールドをリチャージ中
Being trapped. Ayos ah. Laki na ako isang ano, 2x.
フラグを投げた
Tapang mo. Gago.
Crawl, crawl.
あんたの力がまだ必要なの
Gagi. Away pa kayo, okay, away pa kayo. Away lang kayo, away lang kayo.
Betting.
シールドをリチャージ中
Hindi ko na patay yung isa. Panig ako doon. Uli ka.
撃たれてる
Bateng.
シールドをリチャージしてるところよ
Isa pa. Isa pa.
ノックダウンシールドを発見レベル4よ
Already have one.
今日はあんたをもてなしてあげるショッピングするのも一苦労ね撃たれてる
Tara.
リロード中よさあ挨拶してきなシールドをリチャージ中
Sakit na na. 69 damage lang. Headshot
Yo.
yun.
フラグを投げた
Ay, mag-pick niya. Tatlo pa sila.
でちょうだい
Tama kayo sa ulo na to.
What's this?
Tangina, ngayon kamali ako doon sa beaming doon. Shit! Damn it. Sayang naman. Oh. Shit! Sayang. Kailangan ko ng kasar naman. Wait. Get some water. Sorry, I was kind of late on the reading chat. I kind of focusing on the game there. God damn, man. That was so close. Very close. Okay, I'm just almost close. Hopefully could get top 1 on this game. So I can do something else. Once I'm done with this, I'm done. I'm done playing Apex. Sayang, kamali ako sa bimbing ko rin. Saraman.
This Korean girl working at the convenience store helped me with shopping. In return for her kindness, I offered to buy her a few things from the store. And here's what happened.
So thank you very much for helping me today. 아 그러면은 제가 먹고 싶은 거 다 사드릴게요. 이렇게 골라봐요.
진짜요?
네. 너무 많이는 말고.
바나나.
아 바나나 우유.
네.
No, sorry. Excuse me.
샐러드 이렇게 고를게요.
아 그것만 해도 되겠어요?
네, 괜찮아요?
하나 더 가능한데.
아 진짜요?
네.
아, 뭐 먹지? 그러면 바나나 고를게요.
아 좋아요.
네. 왕.
왕.
Snipe Gunder Game HD. Snipe Gunder Game. I could speak proper right now. I'm kinda sick. Someone's close. Did you hear that? Whoa, what the hell's going on? Thanks. Wow, 3 kills, shut up. Nah, 180. Shit, I messed up. Oh, got it. Wait, I downed her using thermal? Huh? Okay then. That's interesting.
감사합니다.
갖다 줄까요 이제? 네, 너무 많이 도움 주셔서.
네.
나중에 엄청 맛있는 거 사줄게요. 이런 거보다 훨씬 좋은 거.
진짜요?
진짜?
약속해요. 안녕히 가세요.
Well, looks like I owe somebody a dinner now.
She's so cute.
I met this Korean girl at the convenience store and promised to take her out for dinner for being so kind to me.
나중에 엄청
Man has a spoken riz. Kasama yung dalawa na to.
맛있는 거 사줄게요. 이런 거보다 훨씬 좋은 거.
진짜요?
진짜?
약속해요. 안녕히 가세요.
Well, today I came to keep my promise.
오, 안녕하세요. 빨리 갈까요?
We came to the Korean barbecue restaurant that she wanted to try. The food was absolutely amazing, and we even drank together. I met this Korean girl.
God damn it.
Alright.
I'm never gonna be a jump master. Screw you guys.
Everywhere you go, you see Korean women, and for some reason, they always have their hair done nice. Their clothes are. Everywhere you go, you see Korean women, and for some reason, they always have their hair done nice. Their clothes are always nice. They have their nails done. They smell so good, and they always have this.
When you go.
Every.
Fuck, man, it keeps scrolling down. Let's screw it.
Let me hold.
We have in this place children of the worst sort. They lie as easily as breathe.
You had a child half black. You made her wash with a different soap.
Mr. Shelby, your own sins are legend.
Our sins against the beating of children with bricks and hoses. Our sins against the black child who hanged herself for fear of your temper.
I do not see how.
And put them on. Put them on your face. Or it'll be your eyes that are broken. Please don't imagine that I won't use this minute to do it. Or that I am afraid of your prayers or your crosses.
Wait, should I use a I'll think about it.
You see the world broken, like those beaten children will.
We have in this place.
I don't need that. I don't want to use the rampage. It's not really that good. It's really bad, but damn, I'm so sick. Are they AFK or what? Oh, I see. Someone's here. No wonder they're being safe. But why? What's inside? I hear him. Might be two inside. Hopefully don't miss. Cause this gun takes a long time to cock. Cock. Someone here? Thank you. 気にしないで。Saan po tayo makalaban? The fuck? What happened? I just ran away. What the fuck? No. I was expecting a fight here. Oh, mine. this one. Ow. Damn, he's low. Both inside. Both inside. They're healing. Just heal up. Fuck. May lifeline ba sila? Dapat nakili yung isa. Dapat nakili pa. Ah, may kalap. May isa pang squad. Ah, lifeline pala yung nabu. Kaya pala. Yeah. Shit naman. Well. Lifeline pala yun. Lifeline pala yung isa doon. There's two squads there.
Why rest? If you're good at a video game, people will look at you and will say, wow, that is so amazing. You must work really hard to be good at the video game. It looks so effortful. But when you're good at a video game, you actually don't expend a whole lot of effort. It's actually easy for you, right? But the question is, why is it easy for you? Because you understand. You understand the mechanics of the game. You understand the meta of the game. The more that you understand, the more easy things become. And this is the key thing about cultivating detachment, and this is what the yogis figured out, is that if you want to live an easy life that is also happens to be like more productive, then you need to actually start with awareness. Because as long as we are numb to stuff, and as long as we don't understand how things work, we can exert all the effort in the world, and it's going to yield very few returns. If you're good at a video game,
This is called the urinal test. This one's a no-brainer. I definitely go all the way to the right. You want to space yourself as much as you can. Here, I'd probably go to the same thing, because anything else and you're kind of too close to people, you definitely don't want those two in the middle, because then you're like stacked between people. This one's a no-brainer. You want to go directly in the middle, otherwise you're shoulder to shoulder with somebody.
There are different levels.
Weird. This is a lose-lose, honestly, all around, but I think you just have to take one of the edges. I don't think it matters too much. I think you go middle here, because if you go to the left, you're going to be next to two people on your left, whereas if you're on the middle one, you only have one person directly to your right.
Is that something you guys have to actually think about?
Yep.
My all-male team is sitting in here being like, oh yeah, that's like the mental gymnastics. Me waiting for the whole damn building to be empty. This is fascinating, guys. See?
And you can rest us right now. Instead of looting. It's kinda fucked up. They got a lifeline there in that team. You know what I realized about playing this game? I need an actual team that I could communicate with. gotta cheap out.
ショットガンボルトを発見。レベル3よ。拡張ライトマガジンを発見。レベル2よ。ライトアモを発見。
Wala kami dyan, oy. Tapang mo naman. Tapang mo naman. Mag-heal ka muna. Guys, don't let your HP go down half. Papitas tayo dito. Shit. Nako, patay ang isa. Jesus. Maras ko naman. A down one. That sucks. God damn. Should have used the portal. My bad. May tao pala dun. Naging greedy ako dun kanina. Naglot ako ng ano. Shouldn't have. Man. 25 RP pa rin, top 6 na yun. Fuck. Ayan, sayang yung 8 RP ra. Ayan, sayang naman yun.
there's so many meaning of this word. Say, show. Oh shit, there's so many kanji. Thousands of kanji, and each kanji usually has more than one reading. How can I remember all the kanji? Dude, you don't need to study kanji to learn Japanese. Just learn vocabulary. Even if you memorize all the readings of all the kanji there, you still wouldn't be able to read Japanese. Let me show you an example. How to read this. A reading of the first kanji is O, Ko, Sho, Chisai.
But chigakose. Chigakose.
And the second one is Gaku, Manabu. And the last one is Ikiru, Nama, Ki, Se, Sho. So, how to read this word? Let's see another example. How to read this? Reading of the first kanji is Kokoro and Shin. And the second kanji is Chi or Ji. So reading must be Kokoro Chi or Kokoro Ji or Shin Chi, Shinji. Right? Actually, all of them are wrong. Why? Well, no, there's no why. That's the way it is. There's a word, kokochi, and someone decided to put these two characters here. And we read it kokochi, not kokorochi or nothing else.
So just woke up. May tropa dito. Wala. I'm on a mission. Mission. Papausaw. Di nyo nakita yung golden. Ha 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 ha. Ako pala di nakakuha. Matamas. Chipot kaya mo. Sige, mag-chip out muna tayo. Kuhap tayo ng sniper rifle. Iti palang bala ka. Kaiser Soze. The Usual Suspects. I love that movie. Well, not so much for Kevin Spacey. Once I know that he was a pedophile. Which is insane. Diyos ko, ano? Ito ba ako narinig? Yun, no? Ikaw muna gagamitin ko for now. Tama sa keyboard ko yung mouse, putang.
Yeah, so even if you learn all the kanji out there, it's useless. You still wouldn't be able to read a word. So if you're now trying to study, memorize kanji to learn Japanese, maybe you should quit doing it. Instead, maybe you should use your time to learn vocabulary. When you learn vocabulary, for example, learn this word kokochi. Kokochi means feeling. You can say kokochi ga ii, feeling good or comfortable. Kokochi ga warui means feeling bad or uncomfortable. And writing of this word kokochi using these two characters. Only way you can make sure your reading of a kanji in a text is correct is by knowing the word itself. So if you're trying to learn Japanese, trying to be able to read Japanese, you don't need to study each kanji. Instead, learn vocabulary.
Shower. What the hell? Ano yun? Scope. Akala ko ng scope. I'm gonna go to bed. Wanna go to my bin ball. My bin ball. Fuck. He saw me. I had to shoot him. Almost got him though. It's fucking weird. Galing naman yun. Kago. Sa ulo. Okay. Palakasan tayo. Ate no? Ito pa siya. Weh! Tigo kayo ah. Pusin yung shield nyo. Tangina nyo. Doon sa likod. That's weird. tao dun. Isa. God damn. Mas matamaan. Akala ko doon pa rin sila oh. Habang kaaway ang mga yan. Yung kaaway nyo. No, sakit daw. Ay, kinuha niya. Ito yung zipline, mga gago. Kata naman. Wala akong meds. Don't go in without protection. Ilang meds na ako. Gago! Jesus Christ, what's going on? Gago. Boss. Busy kami, kaya magulo. Busy kami, kaya magulo. Ngayon kate gagi, mamatay tayo dito. Kuha kayo na meds. Gago. Oh, no, we're fucked. Laki, Gago! Ba't ikaw lang mag-isa? Ba't di mo kami sinama? Wala ka na. O, talo. Namatay pa tayo by default. Fuck. Nagamit ko isang sheet. Wait. Saan kami namatay? Dito. Wala rin. May mabubuhay dun. Wala rin yan. Fuck. Ano ba yan? Ang sama naman. At least, isang game na lang. Lapit na. Konti na. Konti na lang. Konti na lang.
What are the main differences between a Glock and a 1911? To start, Glocks are polymer framed. They also have polymer magazines. 1911s are typically steel framed and have steel magazines. Another big difference between the magazines is Glock magazines are typically double stacked, meaning that the rounds nest left, right, and typically it will hold more, whereas a 1911 magazine is single stack, meaning the rounds stack right on top of each other and typically will hold less. Glocks are striker fired, meaning there's an internal spring that operates the firing pin, whereas 1911s are hammer operated. You can see the firing pin right there. And fun fact, Glocks are the most common police sidearm in the United States, whereas 1911s were used in both world wars. These are not all the differences, just the main ones, and not every polymer pistol is a Glock and not every steel pistol is a 1911. What are the main differences between a Glock and a 1911?
Hey Doc, I finally got.
What are the main differences?
Hey Doc, I finally got some money so I could give you a little tip. May I say you're a fantastic streamer with a cool community and love every single thing about the stream. And here's my question: how and when did you learn to speak Mandarin? Mao na ma, gong dou wa ma som dou wa ma. Ah, gong dou, dou wa ma ya, som dou wo gong chen ma. Hey Doc, I finally.
Kuha ko na to. 250 ano na ako eh. RP na lang kailangan ko para diamond na ako. Ay wala akong lag ngayon ah. Surprise. No one dropped here. That's cool. I already have one, sir. Gusto ko dito. Bigyan mo na sa akin to. Diamond para matapos na yung ano ko. Karipak karantang. I-snap ba ako? Pagawin natin ang longbow DMR. I might. Gamit ko yung heat shield agad. Gusto ko yung dati yung pwede yung oil rin. Pwede kong gamitin na ano. Bar stabilizer. Yo. Pwede naman. Doki doki. Lumdum. Doki doki. Ito kaya pala. Doors are not open. No one's here. That would suck kung may tao dito. Surprisingly, wala. Interesting. Tasking mo na siguro to for the night. Baka i-off-stream ko na siguro yung diamond progress. Ate no. Pagtamaan ka na to. Pasak ang ulo. Di pasag yun na armor nun. Garo. Lifeline ba yun? Take tayo sa lifeline. Squad doon eh. Matras sila. Ayaw nila maipit. Si uwi niyo mga gago. May tao rin, no? Wash dish. I think that's the wrong game, buddy. Wash dish. I think I saw something over there. What are we doing? Left or right? I chose right. Let me Pathfinder chose right. So I'm just gonna follow him. Is that a guy? Oh. It's a plant. Never mind. Meta pa lang. Meta pa lang magi ngayon. I heard something. Behind? Did I hear something? It would be nice though if someone uses a plant towards us. There's still. That's a massive weapon sway. Negative 35 pa. Nag-guide na sino yun. Anong baril yun? Fuck? G7 ba yun? wala dito. Daga Gaming. Do you know that? How the fuck do you do that? Someone's going down here. Yung mga niya ko, ayos ah. Who was that? Pulis pang Kalawakan. Late dumating. Need those grenades. Ingay naman dun. Ingay naman dyan. Isa pa. Don't shoot him. Let him push through us. What's up? Gago. Golden ba ako? Golden ako daw. Okay, good. Get off my lawn. What's up? Get it. Fuck you. Tang inang yan. Malas naman kami yung punterya. Epal yung nasa baba eh. Malas naman. Epal tong isang squad na to. Ang Pacquiao. Epal kayo ah. Ano to? 1v1? Ito nga naka-10 to oh. 10 kills to oh. B1 nga. Siya pa yung epal tong isa na to. Naka 10 kills yun. Lakas naman nun. Tanginang yun. Sad ng epal kasi. Ba't kami inuulan? Epal yung nasa baba. Tangina. Tanginang fuse yan. Tsaka pati nag-ultimate dun si Maggie. Asar naman doon yung Magi. Ay, yung ano, but ang inang yan. Yung pala yung nasa baba eh. Kasar. Makuha ko na yung ano, top 1.
1945, 6 B-29 Stratofortress bombers took off from a tiny base in the Pacific Ocean. 3 planes flew ahead to check weather conditions at the potential targets. Of the remaining 3, 1 plane was filled with observers, another carried instruments, the last one a payload that would change history forever. As they reached the designated targets, the attack plane initiated the bombing run. The plane, named after the pilot's mother, had a good view of the industrial city of Hiroshima. After the weather plane triggered an early morning air warning, people were now starting their day, waiting for the tram, entering school, and then, in one flash, it was over.
Evelyn Fioret. The fuck is that name? Hindi mo matangkap yung kanina. Kakaasar yun ah. Sobrang pindong kami to. Kakaasar po. Sobrang pendong kami doon. Nakakaburat ko yung laro na yun ah. Chip out na tayo. Snap na ako ngayon. Kuha tayo ng longbow. I already have one. Snipe na ako. Ang katinong skull piercer no tang. Pagkabasag eh. Nakasara ko ah, tangay na. Bad trip yung game na yun ah. Pag hindi ko pa ito nakuha ngayong wala pa rin to, ano, natutulog na ako. Naka-ambidextrous charging handle. Ito, Scar light. Scar ano. God damn it. Palabas na po. Grabe yung Evelyn Fiorte na. Nakailan na yun ah. Ayos ah. Wala napapansin niyo mga hayop kayo. Dito up. Dito pa. Eh, pad nasa likod na squad. Tangina na. Wala. Sad. Missed every shot. Way pa kaya yung ano? Sak. Patay no? Dalawa pinto gago. Sumugod dun mag-isa gago. Tanga. Gago. Tanga. Tas. wala kasi ako ni. Like, so bad. Jesus, my bad. Kasi ba't sumugod to nyo is 33 RP pa rin yun. Jesus, I'm done for the night. Screw this game.